Hey everyone, I'm going to get started in just a second. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. Just a couple minutes. Yeah, I was just letting Samus wrap up. Wait until I saw that he was no longer hosting. Ugh. Sure, I can announce the March of the Bears on Caneth, March 25th. You can find out more information about that on the DDO forums. It is a protest in support of Bear Dies, which we have had, to be fair, we have had serious conversations about in recent days, really because of that thread and everything. The challenge we're running into with Bear Dies is not, well, I mean, it would take work to do, which always means that there's a cost associated with it, which means, whatever. But the other thing is, as much as, say, Jeffrey and I know some folks would like to see, say, purple bears, pink bears, things like that, there's another group of people out there who would very much not like to see multicolored bears in the game. So does that mean we would, if we were to do Bear Dies, would it be more traditional colors like, say, black, gray, brown, or, I don't know, white, or whatever you want to do with the colors? And if so, would that satisfy folks who want multicolored bears running around in the game? So I don't know. Not live on Twitch yet. Let's see if that works. Tell you, Twitch has been having trouble. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see myself. Hey, Snow White Fox. Hey, Barbaric Psycho. Jeffrey. Good. Alright, looks like I'm good to go. Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream and youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live. I am Jerry Jetlag Snook Cordovan, Community Manager for Dungeons and Dragons Online. Yes, I am suffering from the lag of which is caused by air travel. Just got back late last night from California. San Diego's. We're meeting with Daybreak about marketing-related things, mostly about Lord of the Rings Online, but a little bit about DDO, Ravenloft as well. Talk a little bit about that. Gonna have the latest news, answer your questions, all the rest. But yeah, so it was 3 hours behind, right? So I was up till, let's say, 11 o'clock California time, which is like 2 a.m. my time, which was like... So then we wake up, get on a jet, go back because of the 3-hour time difference. All of a sudden it's late at night, and it didn't get a lot of sleep, so there we go. No, there was no partying going on. We did go out for dinner at a brew pub. I had a really tasty craft ginger ale, but it was a lot of actual business type stuff. We crammed a lot into a short period of time. Marching around the harbor in animal form. This is March 25th. Jeffrey, the March of the Bears. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Yes, conceptually, it'd be pretty fun to have bear dies and presumably dies for other forms of animal types, the druid wolves and what have you. But if we just suddenly said, yes, now you can be a pink bear, I'm going to hear from a whole lot of other people who are like, what? No. So, I don't know. Cordovan, the model for Dragonborn is amazing. Really well done. Thank you very much. I can take no credit, of course, for it, but I will let the art team know. I am going to show off Dragonborn. For spoiler reasons, I'm not going to show the raid or the quest during the live stream today, but I will be showing off the Dragonborn, some of the enhancement trees, and a few other things here as well. Take a look at the release notes on that. Yeah, see, some people are not down for multicolored bears. Yeah. Alright, so what am I here to do? I am here to show you off Dragonborn. This is on an internal development server. It should be noted that Lamania was up over the weekend, or actually through yesterday, right? There was a event or something last night. I'm actually not sure because I just came in late from California, whether that's on currently right now. But we are previewing Update 35 on Lamania. Presumably we will have at least one more preview here. That includes Dragonborn, Racial Reincarnation, 2 new quests, the new raid, and a bunch of other things here too that we can talk about in a little bit. So this is really your first crack at seeing Dragonborn in action. So I wanted to start by creating, like I said, a Dragonborn on the internal development server I'm using. I'm starting over at the first really point that differentiates the Dragonborn other than look, and that is the racial bonus feats. When you start at level 1, you will choose your draconic ancestry. At least to start with, at this point, it's black, blue, red, and white. And it sort of makes sense given the type of dragon it is. So black will have acid resistance, blue has electric resistance, red is fire resistance, and white is cold ice resistance type things. So why don't we just pick a this one just to show that off at the moment. And let's get into the stuff that's actually pretty cool here. So here is our first look at the Dragonborn. This is, like I said, on an internal development server. We do have some changes that one can expect to be made before we go live. This is not fully polished. Some of the animations are not done. You know, it still is pending some level of approval and that sort of thing. So there's still plenty of work to be done here regarding the Dragonborn. But this is what we got at the moment. You can see you can pick some various kind of scaling in terms of coloration and that there. We have eyes that you can choose from. Let me try to do, that one will show off pretty well. Quite a few eye choices here. It looks like 11, 12, 13. Jeez, look at all that. Alright, so it looks like we have 15 different eye choices here. Let me just kind of, again, go through the quick list. Some more eye-like, some more kind of draconic eye slits. I like that one. Let's stick with that. Tines is, you know, their sort of facial markings. It looks like we've got 10 different choices of that, including a no option for those who would prefer that. Yeah, let's stick with that. Like that. Frills, or say, you know, earrings, things like that nature. Let's see what we have for number 2. Some of these I'm kind of learning along with you guys because I didn't actually see it until recently. Ah, cool, more ragged. That's pretty cool. And then they can have a beard of sorts. That's pretty rad. Yes, your Dragonborn can have a beard. Looks cool enough to me. When do they get dragon breaths? I can't get onto Lamania. I will show that off actually in just a little bit. It's true, no tails on Dragonborn, and that is per the lore, per the rulebooks. Yeah, right? You know, in terms of dragon scales, you're like, hey, I can take care of that. Yeah. Okay, U35's first preview period is Tuesday through this Thursday, summoning tomorrow. There you go. Will Dragonborn Leap have a wing effect like Favored Soul? I think so. I'm going to have to assume that's true. I haven't actually seen it myself yet, but... Yeah, I think, you know, we are, depending, of course, on their success and popularity and the rest, you know, we could always add further ancestry in the future, but this is what we're launching with here. Are the 2 new quests finalized yet? Ran them on Lamania last night. They seem kind of short for level 30 plus. They may be a little bit on the shorter side. In terms of are they finished? No. They were brought into a state ready for preview in time for Lamania, but further work is going to be done on them. The loot, does it drop more at higher levels? I am running it on Legendary Normal. Would I get a better drop rate on Legendary Hard or Elite? Yes. That is almost always the case for stuff that basically it's about twice as good on Hard as it is normal and twice as good on Elite as it is Hard in terms of the drop rate. We're working on the, oops, come on. Really, no more slots? That's ridiculous. I've got many a slot. Alright. I'll have to just quick go through that again. Clearly we're in a little bit of a state. You know, let me just... I may have to actually pop onto Lamania here just to show off Dragonborn. Just due to the strange account settings we have. Right now on our internal development server. Doesn't really matter what I take for feats when I am an admin, so let me just kind of cruise through stuff here. Alright, yeah, I think I may have to go on to Lamania here to get this thing working. Sorry about that. We're testing out account purchasing, that's why everything's in kind of a weird state. No, it will not cost that much for Dragonborn. Like I say, this is an internal development server. All numbers are suspect. That's actually a good point. Let me back up just a quick second and show off the Dragonborn in terms of their stats and stuff. They start with higher strength and charisma, but lower dexterity. So they have a double stat in terms of their bonus, but a negative to dexterity, of which can be seen here. He's naked. Will it be free to VIP? I believe the answer to that is yes. Yeah, they're going to be priced competitively with basically every other race, so don't worry about that in terms of the price of it all. Can you get an admin checkbox? Nope, but it sure is nice, isn't it? Get myself some stuff. Oh yeah, that's something I can actually show off here a little bit. Look at they have a somewhat different punch animation, which is like both a claw bite. If I can show it. You know, I should have done a path here. That's fine. Took me just a quick second here. Just giving myself leveling up a little bit so we can show off the enhancement trees, really. Like I say, it doesn't matter what I actually end up taking for feats and stuff. For I am an admin, I'm an all-powerful god. I can do anything I want. Except I still have to play within the rules of the level up system, unfortunately, right now. Normally, a lot of times what we do for these demo characters is we'll actually take a path on an admin because, like I say, the stats and none of that stuff actually matters. And that way when you're leveling up, you can just go pop, 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 pop. And it makes it a little bit easier to do. Right. At the moment, helmet visuals do not display on Dragonborn. I don't know if we're going to get that done in time for their release. And the reason for that should be fairly clear, which is that they have a much larger head than just about every other race in the game. And the helmet tech doesn't currently look right with it. For obvious reasons, right? It doesn't really work. But that's something we are working to resolve. I just don't know if that's going to be done in time for update 35 here. So they can wear helmets, but it doesn't currently display. Is there an actual bite attack? I believe it's really just an animation thing. You know, just kind of like your punch punch kick that you would do if you were a regular thing, except for Dragonborn, it's claw claw bite. When is the update? Stay tuned for an exact date on it. We have not really yet announced when Update 35 is going to be released. We're still targeting soon. But how soon is soon? Stay tuned on that. We really did our first, Lamania preview here. So depending on how the feedback for that goes, the polishing and bug fixing we have yet to do, the final sort of QA work that needs to be done. So a lot of that is still a little bit up in the air at this point. But we're still targeting soon, within the next couple of weeks here, if we can get everything polished in time. Alright, so let me open up the enhancement trees and show you that. Oh, the dance ones are funny? You're right, I haven't done the dance emote yet. Let's see that. Nice. Can I talk about race TRing? Yes, I will get into that in just a little bit. Let's try the second dance out. Nice. They're headbangers as would be expected. Yeah. Looks like a lot of it is the same. Let's see. Ooh, that's different. Look at that taunt emote. Nice. Your sleep emote is similar to the Warforged. Let's see, what other one should I do? Alright, there we go. Oh, grovel? It's a pretty good one. Flex. Okay, it's your basic flex animation there. Beg. Yeah, beg's a little different. Stop. Stop is the same as always. Ooh. Yep, broccoli and that's the same. Alright. Alright, yeah, we'll have to look into the half-orc laughing. That's a good question. I don't know why we didn't do that. So, they're a regular character, just in any other fashion. They don't have special unarmed attacks, per se. Most people are going to be wielding weapons and such with them, because that's, what you want to do. And as you can see, we are still state on some of this stuff. Some of the animations are still subject to change and will need some polish too, so that'll be going on. Alright, so let me actually get to our racial enhancement tree here. So, the cores that we'll do first, it's +1 fortitude, strength or charisma, another +1 fortitude, strength or charisma, and +1 fortitude. The resilience tree will get you, I believe, up to 40 hit points, so it's 10, plus another 10, and 10 healing amp. Another 10. Yeah, so up to 40 maximum hit points and 20 healing amplification can be had through that line of the tree. To make sense for their skills, it is a natural armor bonus, +2, 4, 6, and again, that makes sense. Tier 2 is 2, 4, 6 on physical resistance rating. You can select a power based on your heritage. So basically, you get spell power of the same type that you would normally get for being your dragon, right? So red, you get fire spell power. White, you get cold spell power, etc., etc. Here we go. Memory of Flight. You can leap through the air to bring the fight to your enemies or traverse chasms that make normal adventurers balk. I will actually try to take up to that one here in a little bit. And that is sort of their abundant step leap-like thing. Brutality is threat generation. Here's their breath attack, and I will actually get into that in just a little bit as well. You can also increase the DC 1, 2, or 3 of your breath attacks. You can get up to 1, 2, 3 of evocation DCs. Some skills: Intimidate, Spellcraft, Haggle. And way to increase your total number of action boosts. You can increase the caster level and max caster level for the element associated with your draconic heritage. There's a augmented breath on the tier 4. So for this one, will give you a 20% chance enemies will be slowed. This one is 5% chance enemies are dazed. 10% sleep chance. 8% knockdown chance. Then again, a little bit more fortitude. And some spell points and spell penetration. All right, so let me go ahead and try to take more of this stuff. Alright, that should get me about where I want to show things off. Put that into a hotbar here. I'll show you the breath attack, and I'll show you the flight. Oh, I need spell point cost. Let me see. Going to need to get a spittle point item. Guess I should have been a wizard or something like that. Let's see, what could I do to get myself spell points? Well, I can just multi-class. There we go. That's what I'll do. How about, yeah, sure, Fate Soul. Cool. All right, there we go. So here is Their memory of flight has a bit of a cooldown, of course. And then here's their breath attack. Like I say, some of these animations are yet to be polished, so we'll see. And I can get into the stats of that when I get into the release notes here in just a little bit. Can you get a weapon room like that for about 10 minutes? Yeah, right. Nice. Is the leap on the same timer as a monk in Favored Souls? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. I haven't checked that, but I would suspect the answer to that is yes. Because we don't, we have to be kind of careful with that. So, see, it's a pretty long range here as well. So, yeah, Foley's going to show the fly here a little bit too. Alright, well, whatever. Can I show the naked body? Yeah, I can take off the armor. Caster type. Alright, let's see. I know meta feats affect like maximize what other ones do. It's in the release notes, which I guess I'll get to in just a sec. It does have a moderately long cooldown. I don't know if we're going to be adjusting that or not. Alright, so why don't I transition over into the release notes here, and we can talk a little bit about what's going on there. I should note, all these are subject to change, like always. Lamania release notes are a work in progress. They will change over time. The numbers are probably not right. They tend to be pulled more from earlier design docs rather than the way they were implemented in the game. So any numbers that are wrong, live with it. That's why they're on Lamania. Okay, so Dragonborn free to VIP, purchased in the store for everyone else. We do not, as of now, have character paths for Dragonborn. It was really a matter of polishing the enhancement tree rather than creating character paths for Dragonborn. The thinking is, frankly, character paths aren't particularly popular. So, when given limited resources, we kind of opted to go in a different direction. But we will probably have them soon. We do have a new raid, Riding the Storm Out. You can find it in the Stormreach Marketplace, and I can actually go to the levels on that here in just a sec. Let me pop over and get the levels on the new raid.
By the edge of the Stormreach Market, a pensive form scans the thronging crowd. She is searching for heroes. Heroes able and willing to face an unknown foe in the ancient ruins of Gianthold.
Yeah, okay, so without getting too spoilery.
Come one, come all, to the
I can show you the quests here are 10, 11, 12, and then legendary 30, what have you. Double check to make sure the other one is that. Yeah, 10, 11, 12. Let me see if I can pop up the UI for the SQST. Alright, here we go. Cool. So, yep, level 30, 31, 32, 33 for the raid. Alright, let me head back to the release notes here. Two new quests, again, they will be found in the marketplace here. Racial reincarnation, we'll get into that here in just a little bit. News and notes. We fixed an issue where instant death effects were not sharing aggro correctly. We do have Dragonborn enhancements. We have done some work on Vanguard and a few other things, particularly regarding their action boosts. We changed the melee power boost to melee and ranged power. Ravager now grants ranged power for its melee power boost. The Battle Engineer action boost, again, melee and ranged power. And we've adjusted quite a few of the trees. Warforged and Blade Forged have had mithril fluidity armor check increased. And you can actually see quite a bit about this, but I don't know if I really want to go line per line here, but on Warforged particularly, there's a new enhancement called Memories of the Last War. It's both Tier 3 and there's one on Tier 4. Each one is a selector, and you can choose one that you haven't taken earlier for the Tier 4. It's a bonus to melee and ranged, or universal spell power, saving throws, or armor class physical resistance. And like I say, the Tier 4 version lets you get something you haven't taken in Tier 3. Half-Orc is getting a boost to their Orcish weapon training. Interesting on Lock Bash as well. You no longer need a Dragon Mark. You no longer need Sunder. Lock Bash is no longer influenced by or required to have Thieves' Tools. It has a new animation. Orcish Rage is now an action boost. Brutality can be used with one-handed weapons in that now. Raging Crush is no longer gated by usage. It just has a cooldown instead and does increased weapon damage. Done quite a bit of changes to Half-Elf as well. Improved the dilettantes in many ways to add spell points, and in a few cases, hit points in 2 hit. We changed the DC of Dwarven Hands of Stone, so now it's 10 plus character level, plus your con modifier, plus transmutation bonuses. We updated Fairy Fire for Drow, so it no longer has a saving throw, no longer uses charges, a couple of spell points is all it costs. That also applies to the Druid version. Darkfire's SLA now scales with spell power, cannot be countered, and affected by metamagics. On the Shadowrk High, we scaled the spike chain attacks to be 200% with melee power, so that'll be pretty good. We're adding a thing for some kind of old update 15 items that got versioned up. If you have an old version of it, you can update it in the Stone of Change if you want to. Air Elementals will now only knock down characters when actively engaging in a charge behavior, and that may be because of the new raid a little bit. Reincarnation, you can undergo a racial reincarnation. You'll get, you can do basically 3 per racial tier. And you'll get, say, +1 repair as a Warforged, then +1 constitution, and the third past life, or racial past life, will always be an extra racial action point. Now, this can only be spent on your racial tree, but it's in addition to all your other action points. So it is a way to get more than the cap number of action points if you want to do the work for racial trees. But, you know. Drow will get Search and Intelligence, Dwarf Balance and Con, Elf Spot Dex, and Gnome will get UMD and Intelligence, Halfling Move Silent Dexterity, Half-Elf Diplomacy Charisma, Half-Orc Intimidate Strength, Human Haggle Wisdom, Dragonborn Spellcraft, and Charisma. There is a note here that items are preserved in inventory during a racial reincarnation rather than being put into a TR cache, but that might change. We received a lot of feedback on that, plus it's not entirely clear if that was intended. So we're going to sort that out before Update 35 is released. We've added a guild buff to the Lamania Test Dojo. And yeah, I can actually go into the items a little bit here if you want to, as time permits. All right, let me take a look at our questions here, see what I can do. If they add more races, will it unbalance the +1 stats? Well, it'd be something we'd have to be aware of, but no, I think we have room to grow there. Will Constitution from Warforged stack with a Dwarven Constitution past life? I believe so. They're just an extra +1. Let's say I racial reincarnate 3 times and 3 classes. Are the 3 extra action points available at level 1? I believe the answer is yes. Do you get any additional benefit feat for completing racial completionist? Not at this time. It's something we are open to maybe considering in the future, but not at this point. The benefit will be that deeper pool of action points. If you are iconic in your current life, you would still have access to the racial action points you get from racial reincarnations. I believe that would be yes. The cap on the extra racial points would be however many races we got. So times 3 lives. So for the extra super dedicated, yeah, you're talking about a moderate level of racial action points there. In the future, will there be more races? Almost certainly. Yeah, Lockbash is a good change. That one's nice. REO Speedwagon theme, yeah. Yep. See, that was the one I was saying it should be called, oh god, what was the name I had thought of on Friday? Oh yeah, Blue Scream of Death. But Riding the Storm Out's a pretty good one too, yeah. Alright, now over to YouTube. Let me get that. The Blue Dragon breath animation is, quote, kind of bad. Yeah, the animations are not polished yet. They're really at a first state for Lamania here, but I would imagine, as a matter of fact, I know some of those animations are getting polished here. Will there be an iconic Dragonborn? No, not at this time. We might be willing to do that in the future, but that's not, excuse me, that's not something that's on our short-term plan here. I can show the new character bank, but I should quantify that by saying as of about 15 minutes before I went live on the air, we are pulling the character bank from update 35. That could change, but like I said, as of literally right before I went on the air here, we were having a conversation about it. And I think we're going to pull the character bank from update 35 so that we can do a little more work and perhaps take a look at people's feedback on it. What we've done is we've taken the character bank and changed it to be the shared account bank in the what's called the barter UI. And the reason we do that is not only because it uses updated tech rather than 2006 era tech, but it allows us to offer a lot more character bank storage. And that's one of the biggest requests we've had over the years that we have not been able to address up until now. The reason for that is the current live in-game tab system loads every time you open up your bank. So the more stuff you have in there, the longer your character takes to load into the game, the longer the shared bank takes to load, etc., etc. And we can only offer so many tabs before it has a detrimental problem, not just for you, but for everyone else in the game. So, in order to offer more character bank storage, we had to get rid of the tab system and move to our modern system, which loads more on demand and by page. By adding pagination, we can essentially offer largely unlimited, to the extent that people want to support it, character bank storage. However, we did have received quite a bit of feedback, particularly in the past 24 hours, from folks who are not entirely happy with the change because they like the tab system, because they were using it to sort gear by item, by life level, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, whatever. And I don't know what we can do about that exactly. We can't both update the character bank system and have that tab system, although we might be able to do something like bring in the inventory, the character inventory system here, which would allow you to at least sort by items. It's something we're going to have to consider to see what we can do there. I don't know what the answer is to that. But because of some testing issues and other things, it looks like, pulling the character bank change from update 35. Please add a search feature to our TR storage. No. I appreciate that you incorrectly called it storage. The TR cache, I've said this, 30 times on the live stream. There's a big disconnect between what the community thinks of as the TR cache and what the TR cache is intended to be. The TR cache was never designed to be long-term storage. It was always designed to be temporary storage simply for the purposes of reincarnation. However, the community clearly has used it differently from day one and considers it long-term storage. We are loath to further support using the TR cache as long-term storage. So any request that would improve the current state of the TR cache is unlikely to happen. Sorry. Yeah, so Thimble succinctly puts it, if we are changing the barter UI for character bank, we lose our ability to sort in a compartmental way. That's true. I don't know how many people actually do that, but clearly enough of you do that your voice was loudly heard on the forums here in the last 24 hours. So we're going to have to take a look at that. But until we do that, we cannot offer more space. So we're going to figure something out here. But it looks like we have a little more time to deal with it. Dragonborn racial past life is +1 spellcraft and +1 charisma. That makes sense. No, Thibble, I was joking. I was joking about getting wider with each racial reincarnation. That's funny. When you have max inventory and TR, you cannot fit all the TR stuff on your character bank. True. Get rid of that stuff. You don't need it. But I understand what you're saying. Can players do a racial reincarnation with items inside the TR cache? Hang on to that thought. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think the way it is on Lamania today is the way it's intended to be, nor the way it will go live. So we're going to have to sort through that before I can really answer that question. Will the character bank be retrofitting more slots or more available in the DDO store? Clearly the DDO store is going to be the primary option to do that, but it does give us the opportunity to offer more through, like, say, favor or in-game rewards in the future. Alright, so that's enough for the character bank thing. Like I say, it's not even going to be an update 35 here, so let us move on. I am going to see if I can. So to reincarnate, you're going to be using a new kind of heart called a Heart of Blood, a heroic true Heart of Blood. When you get to level 20, it basically operates very similarly to a heroic true reincarnation, but it's for racial rather than class. And you will not get the benefits of both. You will have to do one or the other. Inventory items moved into the bank, etc., etc. Looks like we have to fix the UI on that. We have an old turbine reference. Oops. And how you will be able to acquire that true Heart of Blood is two ways. One, through the DDO store, just like the other true hearts. You can also get one through 20 tokens, just like you do a regular true heart as well. Alright, so I have just a couple of minutes here. Let me show off a couple of the new items, and then we'll probably call it a share. Dragon Eyes. This one gives you an increase to your breath weapon spells. Sightful Reflex has a blue augment slot. Again, this should be both heroic and epic on this. The vestments, these are all level 10, gives you PRR, MRR, quality stunning, and fortification. There's a docent version of it as well. We have a new orb. Let's see what that looks like. Looks like it's, at the moment at least, our basic orb look. That offers combustion, decreased magical threat, and it's a spellcasting implement. Healing lore, speed, devotion on a belt. The boots are pretty interesting. Improved quelling strikes on a Vorpal. You will quell your enemies for 6 seconds. Also, it has a dispelling guard, so it'll, when you're hit in melee, it will apply a greater dispel magic effect to the attacker. Additionally, it has insightful and quality magical sheltering for MRR and some augment slots. The new gloves, deadly and diversion, deception, diplomacy. New bracers, deception, assassinate, dexterity, and bluff, empty blue. We have a new cloak that's insightful combat mastery, speed, physical sheltering, and insightful deadly. So the scales of malice, insightful con, vitality, PRR, parrying. Here is what it looks like. Not bad looking. Get into the light a little bit so you guys can see this off a little better. Again, we have a docent version. A new ring. Ooh. Profane bonus to all abilities. That's nice. Insightful accuracy, deadly intimidate. And then other eyes. Increase to your social skills, diplomacy, intimidate, charisma. Mystic wraps. Potency. No, it's a wrist item. Maybe we should rename that. We have a new hand axe. Thanks, Linabelle, for that one. Let's see. New clothing. I wonder if I can pop that on. Yeah, so there's actually quite a few items here. I don't think... It's probably because it's a raid-only item, so I can't equip it right now. Let's see. Alright, well, so we take a look at this on the money as well. Finally, we do have a trinket with double shot, diversion, diplomacy, accuracy, and some empty slots there. Will there be race-specific items for Dragonborn? Probably not, although as you'll see, there is that one benefit that does increase your breath attacks. That will also apply to the Epic Destiny. So I guess that kind of counts. But otherwise, no. Do goggles show on Dragonborn? I don't know. No, not at the moment. Same issue right now. We'll have to work on that. Do we the racial point as a feat or an action point? Do we get it? I believe it's just a straight up action point. Does TR a Warforged 3 times stack with TRing as a human, etc.? Yes. Your racial past lives will stack. Yeah, agree if it says on the text. Does racial reincarnation work exactly like a true reincarnation? Do we have to choose which benefits you get from doing it? No, it's based on the race that you are reincarnating and the life you get. So for the first tier you get one, the second tier you get the other one, and then on tier 3 you get the extra racial action point. Is there a possibility of getting something that boosts Reaper XP? Yes, currently XP potions do stack. So you just use regular XP pots to boost your Reaper XP. Can we use the auction house UI for the bank? That would give all we need and you need, pages, level, and or type. We'll have to look into that. I'm not sure. All right, thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live. Thank you for joining me. I will be back on Friday for Friday afternoon, probably doing some regular questing, but we'll see how things go. Otherwise, you can see the release notes on Lemania. You can check things out on the preview server right now. You can read the release notes on the forums. You do have through April 2nd to turn in your anniversary rewards to get your anniversary gifts, so you want to make sure you do that. And then finally, we do have PAX East going on this weekend. If you are going to be in the Boston area, keep an eye on our Twitter, Facebook, and forums. We're going to have an informal meetup on Saturday evening at one of the bars downtown, probably either the Bell in Hand or Green Dragon. And we'll have a couple of devs with us. I'll be there. I'll have some swag with me, old swag, but if it's new to you, you can get that. And just going to have a lot of fun here on Saturday evening. So if you're going to PAX, say hello to me. We will be there to get you some swag. If you aren't going to PAX but want to hang out anyway, again, Saturday evening, around 7 o'clock is when we're going to get started. And that'll be at one of those downtown bars. Keep an eye on social media to find out exactly where and that sort of thing. All right, I will see you guys again soon. Have fun.